time, there was a young, well-known painter. Long time ago, he made the decision to paint a genuinely outstanding painting of an individual with the eyes that emanate eternal serenity, love, and godliness. The image would be vibrant and full of divine delight. He thus went in search of someone whose face mirrored the unending heavenly brightness. In his hunt for his subject, the artist traveled from city to city, from hamlet to village, and from jungle to jungle, until at last, one day, he was passing by the hills. He was very tired and thirsty. He just passed out on the grass. Somebody came and gave him some water. After a while, when he came back to his senses, he saw a young shepherd who gave him water was sitting aside him. The artist realized that he had found his subject that he was looking for. The shepherd with the bright eyes and a face and characteristic that suggested a celestial abode. He only had to have one glance at the young man to know that God resided in him. The artist asked his permission in order to paint his portrait. The young shepherd agreed. The artist painted the portrait of the shepherd. Millions of reproductions of the portrait were produced and sold worldwide. People were overjoyed simply to be able to hang the painting on their walls. After almost 20 years later, when the artist was old, he decided to create another portrait. His experience had taught him that life is not all nice and that Satan lurks within a man. The notion of painting a portrait of Satan lingered in his mind. If he completed the project, the two paintings would complement each other, showing the entire individual, both sides, the God and the Satan. He had previously painted holiness, now he intended to depict wickedness incarnate, an individual as well. He was looking for an individual who was not a man but a Satan. He visited casinos, bars, sanity units. The artist eventually encountered a prisoner in a jail. After a long search, the guy had committed 7 murders and was condemned to death by hanging in a matter of days. Hell was seen in the man's eyes, which spewed hatred. His face was the most hideous thing imaginable. The artist started painting him. When he finished the portrait, he took out his previous painting and placed it next to the new one for contrast. It was impossible to say which was superior in terms of aesthetic merits. Both were outstanding. He stood there, gazing at his both paintings. He that heard a sword, he turned to see the wailing shackled prisoner. The artist was perplexed. "Why are you sobbing, my friend?" he inquired. "Do these images bother you?" "I have been withholding something from you all this time, and today I am going to tell you the truth," the prisoner explained. "You have no idea that the first picture is also of mine. Both paintings are mine. I am the same shepherd you met me in the hills 20 years ago. I bemoaned my deterioration during the previous 2 decades. I have fallen from paradise to hell, from God to Satan. If we see in our life, we will find that each man's life has 2 opposing aspects. There are 2 images of everyone, like the shepherd. Every individual contains both God and Satan. Every man contains both the prospect of paradise and the possibility of damnation. A bouquet of lovely roses can grow in a man, but so can a mound of muck. Every individual oscillates between these 2 poles. Man can reach any of these extremes. It is on us which side to choose. As we have experienced in our life that a child is born blank slate with godly innocence, but later on it's his or her choice which side to choose, whether to get into heaven or to be thrown himself or herself into hell. The real art of living is to aware of this reality at all times, that we are responsible to bestow hell and heaven upon us, and that we have the choice which side to choose.